You were right. You were right the entire time. You were right about almost everything. You just knew. God put the truth in you. Your intuition is on point. You're able to call it way before it happens. You're able to see it. And what happened, what I'm seeing is that people really tried to break these gifts that were given to you by by getting you not to trust yourself. So if you would see something, or you would know something, right? Information would come to you somehow, which is a part of your gifts. And you would try to communicate about these things. The people around you would get freaked out and they would deny it. So they wouldn't give you that validation that what you were receiving was true. And when you were younger, this really did shape how you perceived yourself and how you perceived the information coming through you. Your gifts are so powerful that it freaks people out. People do not want to be seen. Let me rephrase that. People who are doing deceitful things, who are wearing masks and who are hiding a lot of things, do not want to be seen. They do not want to be exposed. They do not want you to know the truth. And they foolishly think that they can hide these things because they're not operating at a level where they're able to see these things in other people. They're not operating at a level where they realize everything is connected and that God sees all. And when you are aligned with God, you can receive and retrieve information, truthful information. So there was a lot of energy getting you to work against yourself in regards to not believing the things that you knew to be true, or the things that were coming through you. Like really trying to tamper with your gifts, with your intuition, with your level of like spiritual knowing, and like these metaphysical gifts, these sixth senses, things that you might not necessarily have proof of, maybe because they're not tangible, okay? But you were right, and there is proof. There's proof. Well, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. I always hear that. Someone that I was raised around who was very deceitful would always say that. And ironically, they would always say that about other people. Meanwhile, they were the most deceitful person. So I am hearing that right now. The proof is in the pudding. But it is in the way of like all of these, okay. So there are big lessons being learned for everybody. Big lessons for you in the fact that you were right and you can trust yourself. And, you know, the things that maybe you were skeptical about, like God is bringing validation and confirmation and actual proof that you had always been right about it. Sometimes you have to wait for things to play out. And then you're like, I was right. But you're not egotistical. You're not like about it. It's just kind of like this quiet satisfaction that you get, you know, that confirmation that like, and it just does help you. It does help you develop your trust and your gifts. But I am seeing that big lessons being learned for other people, specifically a Libra and a Taurus. Okay? Now that might, let me speak about that a little bit. These people I'm seeing like ghosted you, or you had to walk away from them and they were like, you ghosted me. These people have worked very hard to do things to you, to control you financially, to take energy from you, to even try to take your life destiny, or to swap destinies from you. What the heck? Every time this message comes through with people trying to swap destinies with you, I'm always like, are you real? Is this real? You know what I mean? Are you even real? Like, who does that? Low frequencies, people operating in hate and pain. That's who does that. Jealous people, resentful people, people who don't love themselves. That's who does that. Because if you love yourself, you'd be proud of who you are and proud of your destiny and mission. If you don't love yourself, you'd be like, oh, I want that for me. Like, because I think it's better than what I already am. Like, what? No. But this Libra and this Taurus are going through such a difficult time right now because of all of the horrible things that they did to other people, that it's like they want to quit. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the words, they want to quit. Whether that means that they want to give up totally and like exit this realm, I'm not quite sure. But they want it to all be over. Like they're not getting anywhere. They're not getting anywhere because they're not in alignment. So what does this have to do with you? Well, you were right. Again, that's the theme of this message. You were right. They might even come forward to you, a Libra or a Taurus. Now, this is like a Libra that is not on the cusp of anything, and a Taurus that is not on the cusp of any other energy. I don't know if that matters to you in any way, but I felt called to say that. They have been trying to resolve things on their own, in their own ways. They have even been trying to connect with higher levels of consciousness. But because they refuse to hold themselves accountable for all of the things that they've done, they do make a lot of excuses. Or they might have even acknowledged some of their own things with God or within themselves. But, you know, God, when you really mess up and you hurt other people, and you want forgiveness and you ask for forgiveness, God is going to forgive you, but God is also going to put this call in you to hold yourself accountable. And sometimes that requires you to communicate or apologize or to acknowledge your wrongdoings in a public way, or what am I trying to say? Or like to really just straight up, one of the steps to healing and moving forward and like really having that full forgiveness is apologizing when you're wrong. You know, but because they didn't want to ruin their reputation, they're afraid of how other people will view them. They have chosen not to apologize, not to do what they've been called to do and speak about the truth in some way. And specifically, this Libra and Taurus are learning very big lessons, and they are in a lot of pain, emotional. They feel like they don't know how to move on because they are being asked to transform. And they have built their character on doing things a certain way. And this is requiring them to break down certain levels of themselves, just as you had to do. And to break things down and to create a new foundation that's based on truth, that's based on love, you know, honesty, accountability, all of the things that lend to the evolution of your soul and the leveling up of your consciousness, the elevation, the merging of higher states of consciousness. It's like these people want that so bad, but they wanted to bypass it, and they did bypass it for so long. And now you were right the whole time. Whenever you had a relationship or an interaction with this person, like you called some things. You might have even called them out on some things, but you called it. You called it. And they didn't listen. And now because they do keep tabs on you, they do see how much growth you've done, or they might even like energetically try to keep tabs on you if they do not have access to you. And they're like, I gotta do it this way. And like, they almost don't want to give you this, again, they don't want to give you the satisfaction of being right, but you are, and you always have been. And I'm not saying you're perfect. You have had to do so much work. You've had to do so much inner work. You've had to accept so much about yourself, because before you can alter anything about yourself that doesn't feel like it's in alignment, you have to accept that you are that way first. Before you can heal and transform anything, you have to accept that that exists. Otherwise, it's like a bypassing, and you cannot transform things when you are bypassing them. So these people have reached a level where either they're very physically ill, or they're just emotionally imprisoned, mentally imprisoned. They can't move forward with their life. And here you are, this radiant being who has gone through so many rebirths and who has had to buckle down and accept and heal and work through so many things, most of which was done by the hand of others. And these people did do things to you. So, you know, you even had to heal that stuff. But you were able to come back to love. Come back to love for yourself. You might have even been able to forgive them, because you realize that forgiveness isn't excusing their behavior. Forgiveness is for you to release the weight of carrying that around for so long. It's like you reach this level of understanding where you're like, I forgive you because those are your limitations, and I'm not going to carry your limitations around with me. I'm going to continue to expand and evolve. I'm so proud of you. That is the most difficult thing to do when you're here, and you are achieving that. You are doing it. You have done it, or you are doing it now. And you're amazing. I'm so proud of you, and God's so proud of you. You are a teacher, and you lead by example. And these people are finally realizing that. Now, I mean, I don't know what that's going to mean to you. Maybe you don't care about it at all. Maybe you picked up something from this that meant something to you. Whatever you feel, your feelings are valid. I'm not trying to change anything for you. I'm just relaying the message. That's it. But yeah, you are right. People see that you are right. Things that you say, you know, they come true. And oftentimes I do see that when you are saying things to people, it's because you're trying to protect them or help them, but they don't want that. And people do need to learn lessons on their own. Everything works out perfectly. That's what I'm hearing. Everything works out perfectly. And people do want to go through their own journey and their own experience. As much as you know, and like maybe try to help people or protect them, ultimately, you cannot control them. Because again, control is based in fear. And you just want to accept, like, let people have their own experience. Okay, and you remain true to yourself. You don't let it persuade you or stop you from doing what you need to do. And that requires putting distance there and having trust. And sometimes it requires like watching people go through difficult things that you would love to prevent them from going through. But you can't always, you know, their soul wants the experience. And it's all part of God's plan. You know, God has a plan, and divine timing is real. And trying to control any of that, again, is based in fear. So accept and trust and give people that space and freedom just like you were given that, or like you had to take that for yourself. You know, you had to go through your own experiences. You had to create that space for yourself so that you can grow and learn and evolve and become accountable and all that stuff. But, you know, anyway, that's the message. What? Oh, we're at 15. Oh, I keep getting messages from my daughter. But I'm gonna leave the message there. So that meme is coming through where you see like somebody sleeping peacefully, and it's like, I sleep peacefully at night because I know I'm right, because I know I'm aligned, because I know God's got my back. I don't know. That's coming through. I don't know. Okay. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. Continue to trust yourself and to, you know, and work on yourself and to give yourself what you need, because you're making so much movement and so much progress. And sometimes it takes time to see the evidence, but I do see you're going to see some type of proof about something that has to do with this Libra or Taurus, or if it's not a Libra or Taurus, you're going to see some proof anyway, because it's time. Things are changing. Okay, it takes time. And like I said, things need to break down before they can build up. We do that on a personal scale first, and then it happens like on a collective scale. Okay, so trust that. I love you. Be safe. Make smart choices. And don't get sucked into people's drama. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Whatever the phrase is. Remember that. Okay? I love you so much. I hope you have a great day.